Good afternoon, viewers. I am Pratik, and I will be your instructor for this programming screencast. And I am going to assume that you have some programming knowledge in background and you know how to tackle some syntactical errors and something like that. And I am also going to assume that you have some knowledge in Python, C, and Java because you will need them if you continue watching my videos. So let's get started. Today we will talk about the dictionary in Python. Now, I'm not going to talk how to declare a dictionary or how to use that or when to use that, but instead I will show you some tricks that are pretty useful in real life scenarios. Like if you if you have declared a dictionary and you are using the keys to find their values, but you cannot use the values to find the keys, so you need a reverse of that dictionary, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's say we have a dictionary D, and let's initialize this. So I'm making this a short one. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now we have declared a dictionary. Now if I print the value of D subscripted by 1, so that will that is the value of 1, and the value corresponding to the key 1 is 2. So if I am correct, this will print 2. Now let's do this. So I have my cmd ready here, and let's clear this cls. Do this. Let's do this. Python test.py. This is how we execute Python code from command line. Because I am using a Windows machine, so I am using command prompt. You can access it by typing cmd in your start menu and do this. And for this, mind that for this you need to be in that same directory where your Python program is stored. For my case, it is in desktop. So let's execute that. It is 2. Now if I want to get if I want to get the key by using the value 2, I will get an error. I will get an error. Let's try this. As expected, it is an key error saying that there is no key called 2, uh, and that is quite legit because there is no key, there is no such key as 2. So if we want to know the value of key corresponding to the value 2, we need to reverse the dictionary, and for that we need to create a separate dictionary. We are going to call that d10. Now it is always a good practice to uh, to give an underscore between two different words to give a name of a variable or something. That is always a good practice. Now I will leave this empty. Now for I need the values. I need the list of values. So I am going to use the value dot values method, which is available for dictionaries and which creates a list of values available in that dictionary. So we are going to use that for I in d dot values. So here we have an iterable list of values available in that dictionary. So we need to create that key. We need to create a key with that value. So let's do that. d10 should have the key I, which is our iterable variable, and that should have a value which should be the key. And to iterate through the list of keys, we need index variable. Let's initialize it. Index equals to 0. As we know, an array or a list always starts with the index of 0, so the index should be 0. Now I need to use the dot keys method to get the list of keys. Now d dot keys. Now note that here dot keys method returns a list, but that is not a proper list, that is the object of the list. So we need to make that a list to be able to iterate through that, or to be able to subscript that more specifically. So we are going to typecast it to a list by using the list command, and that is a list. So now we can subscript it, but we shall subscript it by the index. And now we need to increase the value of index. So index plus equals 1. Note that the plus equals is a shorthand for index equals to index plus 1. Right, this plus equals 1 is a shorthand operator. Mind that. Now our dictionary is reversed now. Now let's check how it works. Print d10. d10. Now it is done. Let's run that. And here we have it. We have our dictionary reversed. Now some people might say that we can directly access this dot keys method, dot keys, by subscripting that index, but that is not true, because dot keys always returns object of that list, but not the list directly. And let's make this program. No, this is a program just for this code. So this is hard coded means. Hard coding means that the user cannot change the code without the user cannot change the code without touching it. So we need to make it like the user can change it by himself. So let's make this a function. I hope you know how to define a function in Python, because as I said earlier, I assume that you know some basics in Python. So def revdict dictionary revdict. This is our function, and we need to indent it as it is an interpreted language. So the code blocks are identified by indentation, so we need to indent them, and it is done. So our dictionary is modified. Now note that Python always works with shallow copies. Now what is shallow copy? Now if you know C, then you might have noticed if you pass a pointer in a function, then the effect directly takes on that variable, not a copy on that copy of that variable. This is the concept of call by difference and call by value. So we are going to Python always uses call by reference. Yes, Python always uses call by reference in its dictionaries, not dictionaries, sorry, in its functions or everything. And this kind of thing is referred as shallow copy in Python. To make deep copies, or just to make deep copies, or first call, just an assignment or call by value, we need to use the copy module, and from that we need to use the deep copy method. We shall talk about that later in a later video, but for now I'm going to pass a dictionary. Let's say the dictionary is going to be D. Wait, the dictionary is going to be D. So now from the main function, from the main area, we need to call this function, and we shall